Hey, SnapFlash fam! Botswana is making waves worldwide with an impressive commitment to democracy. In a moment that will go down in history, former President Mokgweetsi Masisi has peacefully handed over power to new President Duma Boko after a tightly contested election. This smooth transition shows the world how Botswana stands for democratic values, and both leaders have spoken out about what this means for the country. How did Masisi's gracious exit reinforce Botswana's democratic reputation? And what do global leaders have to say about it? Stick around for the highlights. Before we jump in, hit that like, subscribe, and share to stay up to date on all things Botswana and beyond. In his speech during an administrative handover, President Duma Boko took a moment to express his deep respect for Masisi, applauding his predecessor for demonstrating the true spirit of democracy. Boko's words resonated with the audience as he acknowledged Masisi's dignified departure, saying, "For him, democracy isn't just something he talks about, he lives it."
Again yesterday, in preparation for today, and he took me through what would happen. So when I called back, he answered and said, "My president, that is most humbling." And it continues to attest to the firm belief of this eminent gentleman, the immediate former president of our republic, to democracy. For him, democracy is not just preached, it is lived, it is enacted. It is not something written on some fading parchment. It lives, it leaps out, and it prances about, and it enforces itself, and he embraces it, and he walks with it gracefully. Well, we're humbled by your gesture, by your activity, your sincerity, your commitment to democracy. If there's anybody who ever had any doubt, including myself, all those doubts have been wiped off. I'm, as I said, much in your debt. We will respect you even more, because maybe when you were in office, we didn't quite understand who you really were. You've now shown. You've shown your mettle as a Democrat. You've shown your mettle as a stickler to the requirements of a democratic order. Botswana today sends a message to the whole world and says, democracy is alive here. Democracy is in action. This is democracy in motion. This is democracy exemplified, sent as an abiding lesson to the whole world, say to the African continent, it must happen, it can happen, and when it does, it's one of the most beautiful experiences that a country can go through. If there were any challenges and problems, this is a step in the direction of healing and curing. So it has a curative effect. And so we are grateful, Your Excellency, for the example that you've set, not just for us, for the continent and for the world.
Former President Masisi, reflecting on the election outcome, noted that while it was a hard-fought campaign, the will of the people was clear. Yes, we lost, but that's the power of democracy. Sometimes you have to step aside for the nation's good, he shared.
I was losing the election. I was upright, very alert to it, but fully accepting that this is democracy. I was not in charge. I only had one vote. My vote is in fact, my job was to accept it, embrace it, as I would have expected everybody else to, even if the outcome had been different, as we have been doing for the last 58 years. Why would you not accept? re jele batho beso o letse mo tong ra ya gore re jele ke di top and we'll accept it ra jwa ke sebega ra batho ba le bantsi ba tlhopile go dumela se party ya ga Re Boko e le se bua ba le palo potana e go tlase ga ya bone e ba re thopa. Yeah, no, the interesting thing about the debate, the ISWA, first past the post system, that has resulted in us, though getting the second highest number of popular votes, merely the lowest number of seats. First past the post, like a ratamash, or it's very definitive. Yeah, how high? I give you proportional. Instability then sets in, and it's very costly. So I'm quite content that my party that I love dearly has only 4 seats. And yes, will provide a very vibrant, informed opposition. We will.
Botswana's peaceful transfer of power has garnered international applause. Former South African President Thabo Mbeki called Botswana's example a beacon for Africa.
But I think what the example of Mozambique is, of Botswana is saying to all of us is that it's a good example for the region. We all say we're Democrats. We must support the democratic processes and not create any obstacles to the democracy in our countries and not create obstacles if the people decide in particular ways against us. Like the positions that the ANC took here. The ANC did not query the fact that it got 40% of the votes and said, well, we've got to respond to that reality. I think what Botswana has just done is the same thing.
Celebrating both Masisi and Boko for prioritizing peace and stability, Mbeki commended Masisi specifically, underscoring the power of leadership that respects democracy above all else. Election observers who witnessed the process echoed similar sentiments, calling Botswana a shining example for neighboring nations. Observers noted how Botswana's elections were conducted with transparency, organization, and respect for democratic norms, making it a model for other countries to follow. In a region often marked by contentious elections, Botswana's peaceful transition demonstrates the values of respect, integrity, and unity that the country stands for. The world is watching, and Botswana has set a new standard that could inspire real change in the region. What are your thoughts, SnapFlash fam? Could Botswana's approach inspire other nations in Africa? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to SnapFlash for more updates on this incredible story. Keep questioning, stay informed, and stay tuned as we follow Botswana's journey under new leadership.